How's it going, guys? Today I'm out here at Yele Lake, about 4 hours from Chengdu. Awesome place if you have a spare weekend and you want to see something really nice. Check it out. So I'm out here about 4 hours from Chengdu. You could take the highway to get out of here. I'll try to get out of the wind here. And it's like 4 hours, and maybe the last, 35, 40 minutes or so, you're on kind of like a small road that's a little beat up. But yeah, it's a cool area. I had seen this on Google Earth, because I always search around on Google Earth to find like cool lakes and stuff. And I knew there was a big one here, and also a little bit more south there was another big one. And so I've been kind of meaning to come down here eventually, but since it's a little far, I haven't made it recently, and a little out of the way, because I don't go too much down south this way. But my buddy Tom came out here in January. He did a little trip here. He said it was cool, and the hotel was no issue and stuff like that, so he gave me the contact. And as usual, there's a little bit of an issue getting hotels. Like technically, I don't think they're supposed to take foreigners here, for instance, but luckily they were able to take us anyway. And yeah, it's cool. It was a ways out here. We stopped, we had a great lunch. These places, these little towns are always so nice, to get such good meals and stuff. And so I drove with the 3 girls, and then the Chinese guy drove with the other Chinese dude and the other South African guy, because I thought I was gonna have 1 or 2 more people, so we split up the 2 cars, but actually we only needed 1. So yeah, we stopped, we had a good meal at this like little town in the middle of nowhere, which actually is quite nice. I guess it's gonna be like another panda park or something like that. And so the hotel's pretty cool. It's just like in the middle of that little village. And then we're gonna barbecue there tonight. And yeah, this place looks like just a good place to like walk around. You could explore the village, and then you could just kind of walk up behind town. You could see it's just big open pastures with horses and stuff, and you could it looks like you could keep going up. And then there's a valley there, so I imagine there's probably a river cutting through that comes down to the reservoir. I guess right now, because it's fire prevention until June 31st, so they're not allowing anyone to camp or anything like that. But yeah, there's like 2 or 3 hotels in the town. They're a little more expensive than other places in general, because they're just pretty basic guest house, but it's still like $50 a night. And I saw another one was almost $100. But yeah, as you can see from the scenery, it's definitely worth checking out. So this area is an Itsu area. It's actually quite close to some Tibetan areas if you go a little further west, but it's the Itsu area. So that's also kind of cool, because the people have all totally different clothing and look different, and have like, a different way of life and stuff like that. When you come up here too, it's kind of funny. You just, it's kind of normal in the countryside to see some like livestock or whatever, some goats or some yaks or something like that. And they really had everything up here. We saw, goats, cows, horses, and some sheep, and then a monkey, and then later some more horses and different things. So it's kind of funny. It was kind of like a little safari when you first came up. And then, yeah, there's all kinds of cool birds up here and stuff too. Like there was just all these maybe sparrows or something kind of flying in flocks all around us. And right now I'm seeing some other like cool birds here and there. So yeah, it's really a nice spot. At least it's a little easier than the Tibetan areas, because the hotel recommended us to get the COVID test, but I think generally speaking, you don't need a COVID test to come here. They will stop you a couple times where you got to write down like your license plate number and stuff like that, but there was no admission fee or anything like that. Yeah, so there must be obviously tons of hiking opportunities all around here. If you look on the map, you can see it's just all mountains around, and so you could go hiking and camping out here, I imagine, for several days, or you could probably maybe walk around the lake. It'd probably take about, you know, 3 or 4 hours or something like that. I'm not sure if there's a road out there. It doesn't look like there's paths, but I don't know if you like drive your car around or bike or anything like that. But that could be possible. If you got a motorcycle too, it would be pretty amazing. You know, it definitely looks like some good motorcycle areas back here. Yeah, too bad I didn't come down here earlier because, yeah, really nice. Really, really nice. Yeah, so yesterday we walked down from the little hill we were on behind town, and then we cruised into this. I saw something off to the right, and I wasn't sure if it was like a tourist attraction or whatever, and actually it was like an old school village that they kind of preserved. And so it was like the old school Itsu houses that they had probably from, you know, I don't know, 100 years ago or more. And it was super cool to see it because they're actually tearing it all down to make a new old village. So that was kind of cool to walk through some of those houses and see what it looks like, you know, before that's all destroyed basically and totally looks fake, right? And then, yeah, we headed back to the hotel and then we did a barbecue. I had some sausages, steak, and salmon, and we had a few drinks. It was a good group. They were really a lot of fun. And it was cool that this hotel, although they're not allowed to do the fires and stuff, they did anyway, because it was quite cold. You know, we were up at like 2,500 meters and, you know, at times in May, it could still really be cold. So that was cool that the guys set up a big fire for us. And then this morning, actually, the guys went to go check out that village because not everyone saw it yesterday, and the guys didn't let them in. So that was kind of a bummer for those guys. And then one of the Chinese guys was talking to some of the locals and asking about some recommendations. And they mentioned for us to head like an hour south down towards this place, Menghua Tang, I think is the name. I'll put it on the screen. And yeah, we headed down here, and I mean, this is where I'm at now, and I mean, you can definitely see it's, you know, it's pretty, but the thing is, it's kind of touristy. Like, you gotta take a cart to come in, and the cart didn't really even take us to like a super remote area. You actually could see like a lot of the town in the background. Usually they take you far in, and then you hike on kind of like a dirt trail, but this is, it's either pavement or kind of like a plank and stuff like that. But I don't know, if you're around the area and you got some time, it's not too bad. But I think honestly, if you're off the beaten track around that lake, there's probably more cool stuff to see than really heading out of the way to come all the way down here. Actually, I didn't like it too much when we first got out of the shuttle bus thing, but actually now that I've walked around for about a half hour, it's actually not too bad. There's a nice little walk here, so yeah, I could definitely recommend it if you're in the area. Yeah, so we'll head back. I guess it's about 5 hours or so until we'll get back to Chengdu, and yeah, great trip. You know, we got a little bit of rain after we'd seen that village yesterday, so we got to the hotel with no problems. And it was also good that, like, this is one of the few times where we actually didn't have to show our passport and all of that stuff. Usually it takes a long time to check in, and this was kind of under the radar, so we just, you know, we just paid the money basically. We did the barbecue, everything was fine, like no issues, no locals coming by or anything like that. And it also helped that there was 3 Chinese people with us, because a lot of the time if I'm only with foreigners, it could be a little bit tougher when we get through like the main gates and stuff, because the guys did check all our things out when we got in, but the Chinese guys kind of smoothed it over and made it easy for us to get in. So anyway, if you got some time, you know, on a weekend, definitely head down there. I mean, Yele Lake, super nice, and a lot of other great hikes around there. You know, very remote. Even this park I'm in now, I mean, there's really not that many people out here, you know, maybe like 30 or 40 people. So a good getaway for the weekend for sure. So if you enjoy the content, you want some more stuff like this, I'll have a few more videos about China, and then I'll head back to the States, and I'll be in Colorado, maybe even head down to Mexico. That's kind of the next idea I got. So yeah, like and subscribe if you're interested in the content, and I'll see you guys later. Cheers.